I was able to maximize profits and keep my booking calendar full by designing unforgettable experiences for guests in my short-term rentals. Now, there are a lot of factors that go into creating an extraordinary guest experience. And the first theme we're going to be discussing today is how unique themes and designs help contribute to that unique quality and set you apart from your competition. One great way to draw in more guests is to create a property that has a unique theme or design. Think about something you're passionate about in the area, maybe an attraction that you love, or maybe an activity that draws people to the area on a regular basis. If it's a sports town, maybe include things like a game table, or a game room, an outdoor grill for dinners or gatherings, or maybe even some coolers or something to keep drinks cold on game day. If you're near a few wineries, maybe add things like a wine fridge, some nice wine glasses as an accessories. The items combined create a theme and experience that your guests will appreciate and remember. I've implemented these aspects into my own short-term rentals by including things like art from local artists, and it's gone really a long way in setting my company, my short-term rental business, apart from the competition. Another example of contributing to a unique and memorable stay is an arcade home. This is one of our most loved properties. We pulled from my passion of old video games, creating a standalone gaming room for guests to enjoy. Guests have loved coming with their kids and their friends throughout the years, and the best part is the repeat business. We earn repeat business by offering amenities that aren't readily available in other rentals in the area, so when guests make their return trip to my area, they commonly stay with us. These unique designs have left a positive impact on guest experiences, and as a result, they not only enjoy their stay more, but they also have a higher likelihood of bringing more business. Now, another really important part of designing your short-term rental is to focus on your interior design, specifically the color choices. Even simple things like color can create a theme. For example, most of the linens and towels that we use are lighter or neutral toned. This helps to evoke a feeling of cleanliness in our listings. In some of our more fun-themed locations, really bright colors help to evoke a feeling of fun energy. Color is most certainly an important tool in creating a theme that guests will appreciate. So great, we know what you need to do and what's important to make the stay memorable. But in order for the design choices to be seen and appreciated by your guests, they need to be onboarded properly. I would say to lead with functionality in mind. This means that each design element you incorporate should function well. Nobody wants to sleep in a squeaky bed, cook in a kitchen that's ill-equipped, or sit on a couch that's not comfortable. Come on. There really is no worse experience in creating a space that guests can't utilize, or even worse, don't want to utilize. After all, utilization is at the core of what your guests are paying for. Also, pointing out new features in your onboarding process can significantly help in measuring the impact of specific design choices. In the case of my company, it's really important that our rentals are focusing on the appreciation of the art pieces that are in them. So we include opportunities for guests to provide feedback as a way to discover what's working. One fun and interactive way that we garner feedback from our guests is through our welcome books. The welcome books give brief, high-level, and important information like Wi-Fi information, emergency contact numbers, and where the fire extinguisher is in the location or in the house, right? But the welcome books also include a welcome note, an invitation for guests to write down their favorite memories, their favorite thoughts, or experiences in the actual book. We, as hosts, we can read the notes, ideas, and opinions shared by our guests and determine which, if any, we need to consider for implementation. The best part about the feedback is that it's totally free. Once you fully understand the impact of specific design choices, you can pick and choose which one works best for you in regards to how you want to build your brand and your business. Now, design changes are really important, especially if the current design presents issues for guests, the host, or operations in general. A simple design element change can be critical for improving one or more areas of the business. Consider the beds, for example. When we first began setting up properties, we used to purchase regular comforters for the beds. This presented a huge problem, not for just the guests, but for our cleaners. And why is that, you ask? It's because washing the comforters at each cleaning took an enormous amount of time to complete, and it was super inefficient. We implemented a duvet cover system in our designs, which drastically cut down our cleaning times. The best byproduct of this change was that it made our cleaners a lot happier. Ultimately, thinking critically about design changes makes it so we can focus on the guest experience above all else. We don't have to waste time using trial and error on each individual thing we want to change, meaning we can essentially split test a bunch of variables all at once to get the most unique and memorable short-term rental possible in the shortest amount of time. Hey, by the way, the whole point of these videos is to help you make the best short-term rentals possible that make you as much profit as possible. So if you could please subscribe to let me know that this information is useful, then I'd really appreciate it. So another way to really set your short-term rental apart is to stay up to date on whatever is trending. Not the bad stuff, just the good stuff. This will help you understand where the guest market is at, which means you'll be able to serve your guest better and make it a more memorable experience. Now, a really good way to do this is by incorporating guest feedback into your properties. If you have a theme that's out of date, or maybe it's irrelevant now, your guests will be the first to let you know. It's your job to incorporate the feedback into your properties. A perfect example occurred through the pandemic. Our guest avatar completely changed, and we started to host many more people who were traveling and working, the remote worker. We received multiple requests for a space in our properties to work in the home, like a desk or a table. After considering the requests and realizing that more and more of our travelers were working on the go, we decided to implement desks into our listings. This allowed us to better serve our guests and enhance their experience. By allowing the guest feedback to tell us what specific things we need to improve upon, we can instead spend time keeping these specific features updated to remain competitive. We're in an ever-changing market. Remain competitive by providing quality amenities like fast Wi-Fi, comfortable spaces to hang out and to work inside the home. Listen to your guests' feedback. They will tell you exactly what you need to focus on to make their stays better ones. We can also go the extra mile on these features by adding personal touches for the guests. You know that feeling you get when someone writes you a personal letter or a personal note? It feels so great, doesn't it? It shows that they really took the time out to make a special note for you. We do this as often as possible in our listings. It's one of the reasons why the guest book works so well. Not only is it a super low cost way to get valuable feedback from guests, but it's a way for guests and hosts to connect on another, more personal level. I mentioned before that in all of our short-term rentals, we include art from local artists. This is only one example of a more authentic design choice that takes our properties from just being a crash pad and turns them into an experience in and of itself. But there are also other design choices and personal touches that I arrange for my guests to help go above and beyond their expectations. Welcome baskets are a pleasant surprise for guests. These gestures of kindness tell guests that you honestly care about them and their comfort. It's leading with service, which is always a welcome experience on the receiving end. It's abundantly clear that maximizing Airbnb profit depends on creating an unforgettable guest experience. By focusing on unique themes, effective communication, personal touches, and continuous improvement, hosts can engage their property's appeal, secure positive reviews, and boost occupancy rates. And this will ultimately increase their profitability. But another key aspect of a successful short-term rental is choosing the right property. You wouldn't want to use a place with major red flags that will make your investment completely useless, because then you'd be better off flushing your money down the drain. I personally have a few specific things that I keep in mind when looking for short-term rental properties to make sure that I get the most profit possible. And if you want to learn more about the process that I follow, then watch this video here.